we wanted to keep you informed with Bethany's plans for the coming weeks. As you all have seen and known, the COVID numbers are rising, and there's things that are trending in the wrong direction of where we want them to go. But the elders and ministers met this past week, and some changes are going to be made to Sunday mornings. We'll continue to meet Sunday mornings to gather for worship. We'll use the 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock service with the time in between to clean and sanitize the sanctuary and the restrooms and the atrium, just to keep it safe for everyone before the next service will come on. We're going to continue to encourage the use of masks if you're able to. Please wear your mask as you're able to, just to keep everyone safe. A few changes to Sunday morning specifically that will begin this coming Sunday, November 22nd, and are going to go all the way through January the 10th. We're asking that Sunday school classes not meet on site, so we won't have any more adult Sunday school classes programming during this time. And then also children's ministry will be suspended on Sunday mornings at this time. And we're finding it's getting harder and harder to have volunteer staff Sunday mornings for children ministry with contact tracing, with people being exposed. There's a lot that it's kind of been a last minute, hey, we can't come in. And it's been really hard to staff the children's ministry programming over the past couple of weeks. So with that in mind, we won't have any children's ministry programming happening from this coming Sunday through January 10th is our current plan. So again, the dates for that would be Sunday, this coming Sunday, through January the 10th.
Yeah, November 22nd to January the 10th.
Yep.
The pandemic has caused a whole lot of things to be changed. And we know that's true for everybody, regardless of your age or where you fit. But as I'm looking at this, I've also recognized that probably the group of people who seem to be affected the most on a day-to-day basis, and probably everybody feels a little differently about this, but as I'm looking at it, I would say that families with children, especially children your age, children who are school age, that in many ways, I think it's probably impacted you all the most and has the greatest effect on you. Part of that is not just, because of the pandemic, but if you think in terms of what's happened with schools, with sporting events, kids are home all the time and have been now for what seems like the past several years, but just the past several months. Your all schedule has been greatly impacted. If I look at Cindy and I, though there are some changes that have taken place in terms of our routine or our daily routine, not as much change as would have had to happen in families who have children who are school age. So we see that, and we know then, okay, this is happening at church too. And we apologize for that. We really would like to be able to continue to do the children's ministry and at least have one place where you can get together and things seem a little bit more normal, and we can provide that relief for parents as well. But right now, for this period of time, we really feel like it's necessary for us to suspend children's programming on Sunday mornings. But we want to encourage you to continue to come. We know that's difficult, but we want to encourage you to continue to come and be a part of what happens on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I've heard some say they're tired of hearing the word cancel, like we're canceling things. And I've had to kind of change that in my mind of not canceling, but just kind of postponing for now to keep everyone as safe as possible. The reality of it is hard. It's hard having small children, not even just Sunday mornings, but just in general with a lot of the changes that seem to be happening. So we're aware of that. We know that. Firsthand, some of us, we really know that. And a lot of us have had small children before, and to think back what this would have been like with your kids. And now older kids even sometimes are hard to sit still. So imagine the younger kids. So the reality of it is hard. Some things that we know and we're going to change that we're going to try to do. I have personally asked Bob if he wouldn't talk as long while he's preaching. But that's one of the things that we know. One of the things that will be changing is the teaching time will be shortened a little bit. So apologize now if that's one of the things you come just to listen to Bob. Sorry.
Yeah. Just my mom is the one who comes to. She actually can't come to listen to me.
The bulletin, one of the things that we did before that everyone seemed to enjoy was having a page on the back to color and some activities. So we'll probably bring that back. Even some adults liked it even more than the kids of having the activity page. But we're going to have some things for kids to look and listen to as the sermon and as the service is going on, to pay attention to some words or some different parts of the teaching that as families we can then enforce with our kids as we're talking to them too.
Yeah. We're also moving communion back to the end of the service. A couple of reasons for that. One is communion has become one of the times where there's the most movement of people. So we thought if we move that to the end, similar to what we did when we first opened back up in June, That way, as the service ends, people can exit and there's less movement. But we also, in doing it that way, instead of the service being an hour long, so if you have young children, they're trying to sit there for an hour, communion being a part of that, with communion at the end, that changes the service time to where it's only about 45 minutes, which is still a long time to try to have a child sit or be relatively still. Now, I'm going to say this, and I've been on both sides of it because we've had small children, and so I know it will sound not correct or sound like I'm just saying it, but for those of us who are older, to have small children in the service or to have children who are moving or whatever, that really doesn't bother us. We would much rather have the children there. We need families here. We need children here. That's a good thing to be part of the family. But I also know, having children that age, that's a hard thing if you're a parent.
Yeah, I've heard people have told me that before, that the kids don't bother them. The people that the kids really only bother is their own parents. And I know that. But in the midst of my 5-year-old rolling cars down the sanctuary or doing those things, I still feel like, So it's still good to hear those. But no, we're still aware of those feelings and how hard it is sometimes. So with that, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty if you don't come here physically on Sunday mornings. We have the streaming service that's been wonderful, some advances that we've done with that. But I never want somebody to feel bad because they can't make it on a Sunday morning, because it is hard sometimes. Whether not feeling safe because of everything going on with COVID stuff, or even it's just hard to get moving, get ready with kids, and then to think through trying to entertain them for that amount of time. I don't ever want anybody to feel bad or guilty for those things. But with that being said, I really want to try. I really want to make sure to have as many kids and families involved on Sunday mornings as possible.
Right.
So know that there are things that we're aware of that we're trying to pay attention to.
In the midst of all this, one thing that we've constantly said is grace, grace, and more grace. Just extend each other grace. Extend each other grace no matter where you fit into this. Extend each other grace if you're among those who are being greatly affected. Extend each other grace if you're not one that's being affected, but you're wondering why others are. Just extend a lot of grace.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add?
Guess not.